Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit further empirical data about our research in the EB community. Now, nanovated hydrotherapy just got off 5 years of clinical trials related to all kinds of skin and cancer and disorders in Center for New Medicine. But those are patient-doctor confidentiality that I have privilege to, but I can't share with you. We're doing clinical trials now through BioGem Pharmaceuticals. I learned some empirical data today. Empirical means evidential findings. Okay, we're gonna nickname. This is my Superman that you're gonna be introduced to. His name is Clark. I call him Clark Kent. Okay, because every once in a while we need to get in the telephone booth and change into Superman. Okay, so
Here he is. He's right here. He's with us.
he's inside.
Where is it?
Yes, he is. I just put him in.
Okay, we had to let Duke in because he's a little dookie sometimes. I didn't know this about you guys have been seeing Clark and the success that we've had with Formula U. Okay, I didn't know this. Clark, tell me what actually happened to your leg.
Well, I got burned with some soup, a big pot, and then I was wearing rubber boots, and so I put the hose in both boots because I was boiling in my boots, and so my skin is real thin on my legs, and occasionally I'll get some cellulitis, and it's not taken care of, then it can go rampant on my legs.
Okay, so now we have Clark, who's had 3-degree burns on his leg. That's the closest that we can get to a grown man being able to tell us what it feels like as an infant to have EB. They have like a 9-degree sunburn all the time. And I don't remember the long name, but all you have to do is type in children with EB, grab a towel, because you're going to need it to wipe up the tears. Okay, it's not a place to be. And I think we have the ability to take care properly in the DNA RNA chain. The problem that happens that the blood doesn't actually come to the surface of the skin. It's not an oxygen deprivation, it's a blood deprivation. So the blood can, otherwise the skin just continues to make more skin trying to bandage itself. That's not the way it needs to be. It's the other way around. So let's look at your foot today. I mean, you see it's growing properly. Okay, that's going to be a very nice layer on there. So
it was a lot worse yesterday. It was really bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. So
this is the second soak.
Huh. So now we have, because it's marketed as eradication of cancer, cure, EB, affirmations of hope to cure, EB, RNA, DNA chains, and I think we got it. This is, I've been joking that they'll take it in a rusty bucket if it works. Well, this is a rusty bucket, okay?
If you put the camera on it, you can see it changing right away.
Yeah.
As I pulled it out of the soak.
We will. So this is a rusty bucket, but this just needs to be cold filtered and steam. You'll see the process. Okay, it just needs to be steam deprivation. Okay, in what's called adsorption cycle, not absorption like a refrigeration, adsorption like a Fischer-Tropsch absorption cycle for processing elements and chemicals. It's a little bit more advanced, and you'll see that. But and then it'll be clear, and there won't be, this has a couple trace elements in it that are oxidized, that's not harmful as topical. We just don't want anything drinkable. It's not going to hurt you because it's basically seawater, but basically detritus in seawater.
It looks like a rusty bucket.
It looks like a rusty bucket. It's not rust though. We know what it is. I choose not to tell.
It's actually knitting. The skin is knitting as we're speaking.
Okay. The best I can do to keep my intellectual property covered, it's the cyanobacteria In one state, it's oxidated, so it's making hydrogen oil,
Okay.
and that's this state. In the other state, it's making Formula U. Okay.
Okay. Which you can drink too.
Yeah, it's both are good. That's why your skin feels good. They're both good, but when I refine it, it's both in one, and it's right now it's technically clear. But that's the reflection of the light of the sun. And so it can be blue or it can be red. Okay? It just depends. But this is technically green. This is their color of green. Okay? Because it's
the hydrogen oil.
because the way we're seeing it, right? It's their green. It's how they see green. So that's why they call it blue-green, cyanobacteria. Okay,
That's what's in
but there's 33 strains of cyanobacteria, and they go through their color spectrum as they talk to each other. Okay,
wow.
There just happen to be talking because I have them locked at this frequency. That's really it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really trippy.
Amazing.
It is amazing. If it was bad for you, I wouldn't let you put your foot in it, an open wound. We've drinking this. We've all drinking this.
I trust you, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. So, and when I basically heat this up, it's going to be squeezed the oil. What you're looking at, the red, that's actually an oil called oxazanathin, which is the most. It's $26,000 a gallon for that oil. Okay. It's the most coveted oil on the planet. It's an antioxidant. You're soaking in.
You're soaking in it now, Dad.
You're soaking in Mother Nature's blood. Okay, if Mother Nature was a woman, which she possibly is, and she had blood, it would be oxazanathin.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the most coveted stuff on the planet.
Now look at my foot again.
Yeah. Right. So. And a very rich version of oxazanathin, because a very poor version of oxazanathin is red pink. This is green brown. Okay, where rust is a red orange. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I joke. Oh, they'll take it in a rusty bucket.
Yeah.
This is the rusty bucket, because anybody would take Axis. If I said, like I am, oxazanathin oil is what you're soaking in, I've just got a global round of applause. Okay, trust me. In the scientific and medical and in the all industries that know about oxazanathin, it's the oil that turns salmon pink when it swims upriver and becomes stressed in fresh water. We dumped you in fresh water with the stuff, and it went in stress just like a salmon. But when I dumped it, it was blue. And now it's just turned red. That's just the difference. It's just fresh water, salt water. If I were to take this and dump it back in salt water and then add a little bit more electricity to it from the hydromel circuit of linear pole magnetism, not AC or DC electromagnetism, linear magnetism, which is a photosynthesis electricity, it would turn blue instantly. It would go back to its state instantly. And this is the issue. This is the issue with the photosynthesis cycle. Our grid is filling up the ionosphere and making too much electromagnetism and stopping the photosynthesis cycle at night. Okay.
Really?
And so when the algae is in this state, it would prefer to make oil. It doesn't care about us, but it's not making oxygen. It's taking oxygen. It's taking CO2 and converting it into oil.
Okay.
And hydrogen oil.
Checks out.
Right. And when it's in the blue state, it's producing hydrogen oil. Okay, the virgin oil that sinks down in our sand beds that the shrimp, krill, and lobster eat, and that's what we squeeze out, which is the Formula U. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's I'm the only person on the planet that knows how to grow this fast. Okay, they could grow this in science, but to get as much as you got here, it would take about a year of electricity. A year in time. In time, where this naturally, basically what you're soaking in naturally is about 2 square miles of seawater to condense to get that much right there. Yeah, exactly. So I'm able to grow it, condense it with electronics, so I can amplify the process very fast. That's my patent disclosure on that subject. On the OMRI listed, which is the organic listing for organic processes, the most coveted processes in the planet, because you can do chemical processes all day long. You can make bleach with all day long. This is not bleach, right?
An element.
Yeah, it's an element, and this is an OMRI listed process, means certified USDA organic process. I've replicated nature in an organic process, the most esteemed license that you can get, dude. Okay, I think I said enough. But now look. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to start sowing. All this red will turn white, and it'll start sewing itself back together like it did the other day.
Yeah.
That was a trip, wasn't
It was a trip because it was, and my skin was actually knitting over the cut that I had on my hand.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I could see it under the magnifying glass, and it was knitting itself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Intense.
It's amazing.
Intense.
So yeah, when the little babies have this, I mean, you've got an open owie.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.